Live.
Okay,
Going live.
I'm gonna view this from my other account so I can get more views. I'm gonna troll as myself at a different account. Low dog, who is this guy?
I mean, re-up it if you'd like to. I mean, that's what.
There we go.
Oh man, I think we got like.
Batman is their special guest. You got that right.
All right. How do I? Oh no, I'm inverted. I'm inverted for the actual stream too. Dang it!
What you in what?
My screen is flipped.
Okay, I think we've got like some feedback going on. Do you have another video playing?
Me? Let's see.
I don't.
Who's feedbacking?
Maybe it's me. Give me 1 second.
I have no idea. We'll find out in a little bit here. Let's see here. Let's see.
In the meantime, what up, We Know Max? Yo, doggo. I don't know what that.
Yo.
This is a new crowd.
Any more feedback now?
Some crazy delay. I'm hearing like.
Uh-oh. Trouble on the live stream.
That's not Batman. False advertising. What? Hold up now. Let's get one thing straight, all right? Go gadget. Where's my bat? Okay, I don't have any gadgets with me today, all right?
All right, Danny, we still having some feedback? Eric Ross says no feedback here.
I'm
not hearing anything either on my end.
Let me put some headphones on too, since you guys all got headphones on. I don't be left out of the headphone game.
Maybe it's just you, because did you pause the video? Did you pause the video, Danny?
Pause the video. Is that it?
Yeah. Are you leaving your video playing?
No.
But you're still hearing it, huh?
I'm still hearing all of you guys twice.
That's weird, because I'm hearing this just fine.
Okay, maybe I should leave the stream and then come back again.
Will that disconnect? Oh, yeah. We'll see if that works.
Okay, I'm gonna disconnect, and then you guys can I? Okay, you guys carry on the show.
All right, cool.
Jeez.
All right. What is going on, guys? We are dominating Danny's channel right now.
Wait, I can't actually leave the stream.
Uh-oh.
Why would you want to leave?
He's getting some feedback. Are you sure you don't have another video open, Danny?
All right, let me check everything.
Yeah. Everyone is commenting on my bokeh in the back. What's up? I'm rocking the 55 1.8 lens right now, shooting at 2.0, so that's probably giving off a very nice bokeh in the back.
Is that on a 6500?
That's on the A7RII, actually.
Oh, why does it look so compressed?
Why does it look so compressed? Oh, I'm shooting a Super 35 mode.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, there you go.
Could be. I don't know, but I think I'm pretty sure it's Super 35 mode right now. Oh, I didn't even plug my camera in. Give me 1 second. Okay. Have to plug my A7RII in with a battery bank, or else my camera's not gonna last through the whole live stream. All right, so Eric and Dave says just restart the stream. We'll be here. If it comes down to that, I think we might just have to. But Danny's working on it. In the meantime, me and Photomeike will read out some comments. The bokeh makes you look CGI. Oh, that's cool. Does that look cool? Does it look fake? Does it look too fake?
By the way, people, I'm like at home and like have family and stuff. So random people would just show up. You know, family life.
Party.
Don't judge.
My girlfriend's in the room right now. She's watching How I Met Your Mother. Let's see here. Young Worthy. Is that the Yeti, Jason? Yes, this is the Yeti microphone, the blue Yeti microphone. We're just talking about our little microphone setup, and I think Photomeike, you bought like a Rode mic just for today. Or have you
I bought the Rode mic a few weeks ago. I bought a Logitech C920 for today.
Nice. Yeah, so we're rocking like they're rocking some Rode microphone setup. I'm rocking the Yeti mic. Let's see here. So
also, it's Photomeike. You guys can just call me
Photomeike. Okay, that's how you pronounce it. I learned something new today. But you're Ike.
Yeah.
You're Ike. That's Photomeike. Okay.
It's kind of like a play, you know, like take a picture of me, Ike, photo me. You know what I mean? Like, hey, take my picture. But yeah.
Oh, see, because I always thought you were like that one brand, the Mikey brand.
Oh yeah, no. It's funny because I saw that and I was like, wait, where did these guys come from?
So every time I see your name, I'm just like, are you affiliated with Mikey in any way?
I wish.
Nathan says, Danny, I picked up the 35 1.7 Mikey full manual lens for what you pay for the value. It's insane. Nice.
The 35 1.7 me Ike, yeah.
Me Ike. Or 3517 me Ike. Rio Gonzo Media, hello from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Hello. Let's see here. We'll get into the new gear in just a bit. Young Worthy asks, mic or PC for editing? Depending. If you use Premiere, maybe stick with PC. If you use Final Cut, stick with Mac. Likely, if you're asking, you're probably on PC, huh? So, yeah. When I'm testing out Final Cut Pro X right now, or Final Cut Pro 10, and it works really well on the Mac for sure. So, if you're thinking about picking up a Mac and you're looking for a good editing suite, the Final Cut Pro 10 is pretty freaking awesome. I was gonna say Photomeike again. Ike, what are you using for editing?
Editing what?
Editing what? I'm guessing videos.
For video? Well, either or. I use Final Cut Pro for video, and I use Lightroom for photos. I had a PC before I got my Mac, and then I was using Premiere. And then when I went to Mac, I still use Premiere because I know how to use it, but I wanted to try out Final Cut Pro. But it was kind of hard for me to use at first because, like, with Premiere, there were a lot of like key features that were easy to use, like timing and stuff like that. And with Final Cut Pro, it was a bit hard because everything's like bounty, I guess. You know how like it's like they called it like iMovie Pro, and it kind of felt like that. But then once I learned how to figure it out, I actually appreciate the easiness of Final Cut Pro, and when it comes to like plugins and stuff like that, like just click and drag. I like it. Just makes me. It's just like I don't have to think as much.
How long have you been using Final Cut for?
Like a year and a half, maybe 2.
Okay. How long would you say it took you to get used to it?
I'm not the most advanced person. I'd say it took me like a month or 2 to really get in. Because so for me, I'm basic. Like, you know, you put your videos on a timeline, then you cut and you add. And when you want to edit to like sounds and stuff, it was hard because I couldn't figure out how to time it, hit the little markers for its times. And once I figured that out, that helped quite a bit. And then I just kind of figured out the way everything's magnetized to each other. Once I worked around that, then that made it easier.
Cool. I still have like 18 days left for my Final Cut Pro 10, so I'm still struggling. I'm still struggling getting it.
What I like about Final Cut Pro over Premiere is the plugins. Like with Premiere, you have to use After Effects to do a lot of the same things that you can do in Final Cut Pro without any extra stuff. So like when it comes to like plugins for like titles, transitions, and all of that stuff, it's all like built into Final Cut Pro. Like you don't have to like look up any special. It's like in the default. And then if you do find extra plugins, you can just add it in Final Cut Pro. With Premiere, like it has to be in After Effects. If you want to do this, go into After Effects. And then After Effects is a whole new program you got to learn. So that's what I like about Final Cut. It's all kind of all in one if you are simple enough.
Yeah. For me with After Effects, I need. Oh, Dan, are you back? You good?
Yeah, I figured it out. Are you? Jeez.
What happened? What'd you do?
Sorry, man.
I was beginning to sweat here.
You know how Jason was saying that? Do you have an instance of it open somewhere? I had so many windows open, and yes, there was a version of the file. There was a version of the stream running.
I knew it. I knew it.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Arnold just pointed out that Final Cut Pro is optimized for Macs. Like I have a late 2012 iMac, and I can still edit 4K video pretty decently.
Nice.
Yeah, so it has an i7 in it, so it has i7, 16 gigs RAM. It's decent, but like I don't, everything works well. So I'm not, it could be faster, but that's it. It doesn't like drag.
Nice. All right, Danny, how you doing, man?
I'm good now. I'm just getting the chat put back out here. Good thing I figured that out right before. I was like, man, you guys just handle the rest, man. You guys will be fine.
I was like, we could spend an hour talking about Final Cut and Premiere Pro.
For real.
So what happened with that? What's the deal? I mean, wait, Photomeike, are you using Final Cut? Is that your thing, or?
Yeah, I used to use Premiere. I have Premiere on my computer. I know how to use it, but I switched to Final Cut Pro because I told Jason I like everything's in Final Cut Pro. Like for basic transitions, effects, all of the cool fun stuff, all of the sound effects, it's all built into Final Cut Pro. With Premiere, you have to have like extra plugins or After Effects. And a lot of the stuff that people have to do in After Effects, you can do in Final Cut Pro. So,
yeah, I think it just depends on like the particular segment that you need to work with. I mean, if it makes it easy, I think that's the route to go. I'm jealous about it. I'd like to use Final Cut Pro in a Windows environment, but obviously it's
that's the thing. And that's the one thing that's keeping me like, honestly, like I like it, but like outside of Final Cut Pro, that's the Mac specific program that I use. If I wasn't too attached to Final Cut Pro, like I'd be able to use a PC just fine. But that's the one thing that's keeping me on Mac is Final Cut. I love it so much. But Premiere Pro, like that, I know how to use it. I don't have any issues. It just I'm stuck with it works. It's easy, The older you get and the more your time is worth, the less you care about little stuff. You just want to get it done. You're like, how do I make this easy? So
couldn't agree more.
I agree, man.
Danny,
hey folks, welcome. Yeah, it's 7:01. We got to start the show. Hey guys, welcome to the Monday live show with Jason Bong and I. Our guest today is Photomeike. He's going to introduce himself. Thank you for joining us this evening. Again, before the show starts, if you wouldn't mind, please consider giving the video a like or a thumbs up. That'd really help us out. Also, even before we start the show, if you're new to us or you've never jumped on Photomeike's channel, make sure you check it out. He's posting in the chat. You can click on there and jump to his YouTube page. Obviously, don't watch his videos yet. Watch it after, but definitely check some of his work out. It's really awesome. And subscribe to Photomeike.
Oh, sorry, I'm all interrupting. The last Sony video that I posted, I think my wedding video, I had posted it right before this live. So like 20, 30 minutes before.
Really?
Which is funny.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and start with our initial segment. We've always started with it on our show. It is our hashtag new gear segment. If any of you guys got any new equipment or you know, whatever it is, photo gear, whatever, please let us know with the hashtag new gear so we can go ahead and talk about it. We're going to go ahead and start with Photomeike and ask him what he recently picked up as far as his new gear.
Oh, let me tell you what I got here. Hold up now. Where's it at? Where's the box?
Oh, shoot.
This bad boy for the live stream, okay? I had to get a new webcam because I knew I was going to be on live, and I got the Logitech C920 1080p webcam just for you guys, just for this, because I had to be up to spec, okay?
We got him to gas it up a little bit and get a new webcam. Looks
you know,
crisp and sharp. Looks crisp and sharp, man.
I'm trying to catch up with David Osler. His live streams look better than my real videos. Like, dude, is this live? Are you sure? Oh, there's a chat. Okay, all right.
It's
streaming with some fancy camera, huh?
For real. I was like, how's he so clean?
David's got a good setup, man. He's got good lighting and everything, man.
Yeah, I really didn't believe it was live. I was like, he's lying.
It's just being played back.
Right, yeah.
Jason, any new gear on your end?
I got this little guy right here. The Sony Danny, help me out here. What is it? The ECM XYST you know, whatever the crap this is, but this is the new microphone that I picked up. Danny just got one. His is like more of a shotgun gun looking mic. Mine's like a little gecko looking frog thing. I don't know if you can see it, but you can actually like split this mic into like have little gecko eyes, or you can have it pointed directly at you. So I got this thing right here just to test it out. So like Danny mentioned in this video that the A6000 doesn't have an audio port. So the only way to use any sort of external mic is through the multi interface shoe thing. So I got one for my A6000. So I'll be testing it out. And yeah.
No, I think that's good, man. That way I don't have to cover it personally. You can cover that, and they can check you out on that. So
there you go. We can do some sort of like, well, it's too late for you, but I'll mention in my video that you have the other version of the mic.
No, definitely. All right. As far as anything that I got, he mentioned the microphone. It's gone. I don't know where it went. It disappeared.
It's gone.
And
it's
I recently
threw it away.
So the computer I have here is a Dell Alienware 13R3. And I'm thinking about selling it. I went and ordered the Dell XPS 15 after I watched Manny's video. They got me thinking about the Dell XPS 15 again. And
Damn it, Manny.
So I went ahead and ordered a certified refurbished Dell XPS 15 with the 4K screen. And what I'll do is try it out because it says free returns or whatever where I got it from.
Whoa,
if it's good, then I'll just sell the Dell Alienware that I got. I got this certified refurb as well, so I can pretty much recoup most of my money anyway. I just like the fact, I'm not going to lie, the reason why I hate this Dell 13R3, even though it's really good, the battery life's not that great. It has a lot of horsepower and has a really good graphics card. It's just that it doesn't have an SD card. I don't know why, but I don't know. An SD card, it just gets on my nerves sometimes not having one. So I don't have an SD card. I know I can have a card reader, but just having an SD card just makes things a little bit easier for me. So, but yeah, I'll be testing it out next week.
How much you said you got the laptop for?
I didn't say. I got the Dell Alienware for about, well, this one I got for like 1,700 decked out. 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, 1060. The works basically. Got it certified refurb. And then the Dell XPS, I got it for $15.99.
Not bad.
And that one is 4K monitor, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigabyte SSD.
Oh my God.
So we'll see how that goes.
I look forward to it. Yeah. Manny's got me questioning about my Mac. Should I go either Final Cut? Should I stay with Premiere, move on to Final Cut, or just buy a dedicated PC or get a laptop? So I'm curious.
Now use a laptop, right? I feel like.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Use a MacBook, right?
I use a MacBook Pro, and I also have a PC. I have a tower back here somewhere.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's a tough choice. I don't know if Final Cut's enough to sell somebody on a Mac, but once you get used to Final Cut, like it's hard to.
Oh, I'm sure.
Jason, just build a Hackintosh, man. I know Max Studios got some videos on that stuff.
I'm gonna hit up Max for some tips. All right, let's move on to the chat. The new gear. Brian Huynh says, new gear. I got the Canon AE1. You guys know what that is? I don't know what that is. I'm not a Canon user.
Canon AE, it's a film camera.
Canon AE1 right here.
Look at that. Look at that. Look
I don't use it. It's just for display.
Jeez.
It's become an antique, huh? Antique for display. Arnold Galanado says, I got a Quickman Photo quick release plate for my crane, but that's all I can really afford because Prime Day wiped out my bank account. Ooh,
because of Jason Bong.
That's my fault. Those Julian cranes sold like hotcakes, man. Eric Rossi says he got the Fuji X Pro 2. Snap click the Godox TT685S. I don't know the model. I don't know the model numbers, but I assume that's one of the speed lights, Danny.
Which one? The TT685S? Yeah, that is. I have that one. That's not bad.
All right, Nathan. I don't know if you heard earlier, but Nathan got the 35 1.7 mic.
Nice.
Or Mikey lens. Or Mikey.
Mickey. I'm hearing it's Mickey too. I don't know.
I'm gonna be so confused after today, man.
Right. Yeah.
Photomeike. Photomeike lens. Oh man.
You can just. I don't even care. It's like people say, yeah, Photomeike. I'm like, yeah, whatever's clever.
As long as you're paying me, man. Awesome, Nathan. Hope you're enjoying that lens. It's a fun one.
Eric Rossi says the C920 is fantastic, well worth the price.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wow, this was like, why was I trying to get a 4K, like, you know, whatever that other one was. Like, this is fine.
It's fine. I mean, like, honestly, I think we can only stream like 720 right now anyway, so 4K would have been
that's all it streams at is 720.
Yeah, 720p. So you don't need that 4K.
Honestly, I feel like 1080p is still king for the moment. Like, it'll be a while before 4K really becomes a standard. Like 1080p is going to be king for like the next couple years.
Yeah, it's still going to be hot. David Johnson,
it's the data. It's data. Like the transfer of the data. It's 4K takes a lot, and so 1080p is just fine for a lot of folks. I mean, most people are watching their stuff on their phone anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait, oh, great. I'm like looking at I was like, wait, mobile 50%, and you guys aren't even taking advantage of putting in here. Like, come on.
Yeah, dude. Every time I play 4K on my laptop, it just like the engine starts revving up.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I'm like, great. David Johnson, new gear, Sony A7RII. Literally just bought it today. And Dave Sincere
is it in your hands already, David? Are they in your hands?
Did you order it, or did you went out and get it
store
brick and mortar? Dave Sincere, man, guys, I took my Sony to the local repair shop here in Atlanta to have my hot shoe tighten. In the process, I lost 128 gigabyte memory card, $70 down the drain. Ouch. I'm sorry, Dave.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, are they gonna replace it?
Did you leave it inside the camera when you sent it to them? Is that what happened?
Yeah, is that what happened? What? Rodell Photo. Sold my A7RII for my second A9. Adorama added the SanDisk 128 gigabyte. Whole bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, the memory cards for Adorama. That's good stuff. But you sold your A7RII. What are you thinking, Rodell? What was that, man? I'm disappointed. Those 42 megapixels you're throwing away.
He's got two A9s, 24, 24, 48. It's good, man.
I see what you're doing. Yeah.
Oh, well, hey.
That's definitely how it works.
You guys, honestly, like after shooting with the A9, I'm like, I don't understand how people shoot with the A7RII. And go, we'll get into that later, but you know.
We'll get into that. Hey, Rodell, you should get a third A7RII so you have what, 72 megapixel.
Right?
Alex Sandova, I just pre-ordered the 16 to 35 G Master. I love that B&H and Adorama are shipping out on August 3rd instead of the end of the month. Nice.
I heard about that. That's awesome.
Cool. Zoom Chris says he picked up the Fuji X-T10 used, and Matt joining in with a refurb Nikon D750. Nice. I see a lot of people ask me some questions. See my name tagged up here. Let's see here. Eric Rossi says, Jason, we're all photographers and creatives. We're all broke. I don't know about Danny. Danny's like loaded right now.
Whoa. I'm very, very close to selling off all my Canon stuff for it. I've been saying that for the longest time, but I think I'm close. So it's gonna free up some cap space, I guess, right?
Nice. Alrighty, let's see here. Jason's here, new gear. I bought a 5x7 feet white black background from Impact. I also purchased Affinity Photo, Photoshop Alternative, and a 128 gigabyte memory card. Very interesting. You gotta let us know how Affinity Photo works out for you, man. Anything you guys are seeing? Because I kind of lost the chat. Eric Rossi was commenting 720p is still standard for TV broadcast of HD, so we're still good, guys.
Yeah, so Eric said he got the Fuji X Pro 2.
Yeah.
That was his new guy. I don't know if we talked about that.
Yeah, we got that. Young Worthy's calling me a pixel peeper, but I'm like, I don't pixel peep too much. Rodell says, haha, 72 megapixels. You know it. You need it, man. You need it. And Arnold says Danny works for NASA. That's why he has the NASA engineer money. All these rumors about you, Danny.
Just on that.
He got the shoe play from the shoe video.
All right, we got one more. Jim P Photos, new gear. My wife is encouraging me to buy an urn versus a coffin. After purchasing the 70 and 200 2.8 G Master. Let us know how you guys want to be buried by your significant other for killing you off or buying a whole bunch of camera gear. I feel like a coffin would be great because then all my gears could be piled up in with me in the coffin, so at least I can take it with me when I go into the afterlife. If you go into it as an urn, you know, you have to like ash all your gear. That's money burning. I can't fathom that. So go for the coffin.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and transition to our guest today, just Photomeike, and definitely get some questions ready. If you have some questions for him, hashtag QA. He's the main star of the show. I'm really glad he came and joined us today. I asked him just today if he could join the live stream, and he moved all kinds of schedules around and everything. And he said, "I'm gonna make it to this live show." He went out to get a webcam for us. I really do appreciate it, Photomeike. So I'm going to give the floor to you and just give our viewers a little bit of a background. And again, before we start, don't forget to like the video and definitely check out Photomeike and his YouTube page and subscribe to his page and definitely check his content out. You got some good stuff there. Photomeike, you have the floor. Go for it.
Dang, what do I say?
Your background, like what do you do?
So like I rented the A9 for the weekend, and I got Danny's message about joining the show while I was stuck in traffic, returning the Sony A9 to the rental store. I was like, man, I wish I could keep it, but it'll cost me like I think $300 because I rented the Sony this weekend. I rented it, so I made the videos before, and I had this wedding this weekend, and I was like, oh, I could just rent like a D810. Or something like Nikon, like 5814 or 105, some new lens. But I was like, man, I really want to use that Sony again because I want to really be able to give my opinions on that camera and have. I wanted to really say, okay, I shot with the camera, not like, well, I used it for a photo session and took it back and here's my experience. No, I wanted to say that I used it through and through for a few sessions and I can give like a solid opinion on the features and stuff like that. So that's why I rented it again. And man, like this last wedding, I just had a lot of fun shooting with the camera. Like I made a joke because I did a video talking about a review and I was like, it feels like almost a video game when you're shooting with the camera. You guys probably know because like it's an EVF. It's not like when you're used to shooting with an optical viewfinder, you're seeing real life. Like this is what life looks like through a glass. When you look through an EVF, everything is electronic. So you got this electronic thing, then you got these boxes flying around people's heads, then you got these green dots like going on, like ping, 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 and there's like all like, you know, the all squares like go around people. So I'm like, oh crap, look at it, it's in focus. And I want to like hit the button to shoot, ping, ping. So I was like, it's almost like playing a game. So that was like really fun. And then with the A9.
Well, before you jump in there, Photomeike, I wanted to ask you, what do you currently shoot with? right now as far as your Nikon gear?
Okay,
Like,
so my
what's your
main
go-to?
setup, it's funny because I have like my main baby is so here's the deal, right? This is the backstory. I do photography full time. Like it's my job. Like my wife and I, we both run a business. Our business is icontosh.com. If you ever look at my videos, our logo pops up in the small right corner, and then I put it in the description. You know, check out my website. So I've been shooting full-time photography. We started our business in 2010, and then I became full-time in 2012. So like that's what I do for a living, is shoot. We started with Nikon. We started with a D40, then we went to a D90, and then I got a D5000. Then she got a D700, which is this bad boy here that's been collecting dust. And let me show you. See, my cameras, like I put them to work. Like,
Oh my God.
I don't play when it comes to, we don't play when it comes to like using cameras. Like we really, wait, what? we really put cameras to work. So she got a D700, then I got a D7000. And I shot with this for a while. This kind of sucked focus wise, but it was a cool camera. And then I got a D800 and she got a D750. And that's currently what we use. She has a D750, I have a D800, but sometimes I use her cameras. And then for portrait sessions, I just got my D800 fixed because it had a lot of focus issues. Was one of the ones that focused like crap. But I took it to a local camera store and they fixed it so it works like a charm now. Her D750 is perfect. And then between there, we only own like 3 main lenses: the 35, the 50, and the 85. And then we have a 10 to 24 for the 7000 and a 35. But those are the only lenses that we own. Everything else we either rent or borrow from people. So so that's my, that's my Nikon history. Is 2009, 2010 we started shooting Nikon, and I've been Nikon up until this point. So
how have you, what's your current opinion right now with regards to where Nikon's going? I know we're tangenting off a little bit. Do you kind of feel like they're not trying hard enough? Is it good enough for what you're doing already? You're happy with the results, or you're getting your current gear, or do you want to see Nikon go a certain way for you? Or if that makes any sense.
It's funny you asked that, because like when we first started, we shot, it was Nikon and Canon. It was like Sony wasn't even a thought. Like Sony was like Pentax. Like what? It was Nikon and Canon. We started with Nikon. My wife was like, I want to switch to Canon. I was like, no, stay Nikon. It's fine. We got the D700. The D700 was great. It was 12 megapixels. The only thing that Canon had at the time was a 5D Mark II, which was 20 megapixels. And so that was like a big deal because it had way more megapixels. But the Nikons had better focusing. So the Nikon came out with the D3S, which was like the top of the line. And then they came out with the it was the D3S and the D700. And Canon had the 5D Mark II. And most people felt like Nikon had the better focusing, but Canon had like really great image quality. And if you were shooting studio work, or if you were big time, if you're in video, Canon was the way to go. Fast forward, Nikon comes with the D800, which is like a lot of megapixels. Canon releases the 5D Mark III, and Canon caught up with Nikon in the focusing. And I'm not talking about top of the line, I'm not talking about 1D. I'm talking about like mid-range, like D800, D700. The D800 versus the 5D Mark III. When the 5D Mark III came out, I was like, oh, Canon's got a respectable, like mid-grade camera now. It's great focusing. It's good in low light. Nikon and Canon are even. On the flip side, Nikon comes with the D800, which is 36 megapixels. So they went from 12 to 36 megapixels, which was like 10 more megapixels or 12 than what Canon had, and it was slower. So you go from this really speedy 6 to 7 frames per second D700 with great ISO performance, great image quality all around, to like a slower, high megapixel studio shooter camera. And that was kind of, to me, a kick in the butt. But if you're Nikon faithful, you're like, okay, well, we'll figure it out, because the D700 is still working, it's still fine.
Yeah.
Then the D750 comes out. My wife gets a D750. Everybody like, that's the camera that Nikon should have made, because it's 24 megapixels, it's way faster, the low light capabilities is on par with like the D4, the D4. So like it was the D750, and then they came out with the D810, which is what the D800 should have been, which is a little bit faster, better image quality, but still 36 megapixels. So now we're at a point, and in between with Sony, I remember Sony came out with the A900 and the that bigger SLT line. And I remember somebody's like, "Oh, check out the Sony." I'm like, "Oh, okay." The Sony cameras were ugly. Like they look like turrets.
Yeah, the alpha mount, the alpha cameras.
I appreciate you calling our cameras like that.
Sony makes some ugly cameras. I'm sorry.
I remember Kai, man, in Digital Red.
I told Eric Rossi that one of them Sonys looked like the robot from RoboCop. You know, at the end of the movie when he fights the one, that's what the Sonys look like. Like, so why does it look so like? Anyways, but I remember she showed me the A mount, and I was like, oh, it has electronic view. That was like the first of its kind, the alpha mount, that have a SL, like an electronic viewfinder. So I thought that was amazing. It didn't have anything else. Like the focusing was like regular, but the electronic viewfinder I thought was cool because it was what you see, what you get. It was like live view. So then it came out. I remember Sony came out with the NEX, and I was like, these are ugly cameras too. They're like gray. It's like a hump on this side and like a lens that sticks. Like what? Who wants like what? It looks like a computer that can take images. Like what is this thing? I just was never attracted. And they were APS. They were cropped. So I was like, okay, here's Sony go again with some crap experiment. And so it's funny enough, they transitioned all of that into the E mount, which we know now is the A7, which is cool. But I was never attracted to the size of the cameras, but I always thought that Sony had great features. I was like, man, when I saw the EVF, I was like, that's amazing. But that's all they had was the EVF. Now, at least with the A9 and their focusing system, I'm like, this is actually really cool. So as far as Nikon goes, like when I shot with the D500, that kind of put my faith back in Nikon. I was like, this D500 is amazing. The only flaw to me with the D500 is its crop. If it was a full frame camera, it'd be amazing. Like I can't say anything. So I feel like as far as Nikon's future, like it's expensive. It's not easy to sell all your gear and switch camera companies. A lot of people do it, but it's not the easiest thing to do to just flip flop between one camera brand to another, especially when you bought into a line and you have a workflow. So I would say the main point is I want to see what Nikon comes out with, because this is another point. When you back in the day, when you were shooting with Nikon or Canon, like at first Canon was on top, right? And then Nikon came out with the D700, D3. Nikon was on top. Then Canon caught up with the 5D Mark III. So they've always kind of gone back and forth with features. And so if you switch to one camera company for one reason, a few years later, the other camera company would have that. Well, now with Sony, it's like, okay, if you switch to Sony because of this, that, and the third, who knows in a year or two if Nikon comes out and catches up. And now you're like, oh, well, I sold on my camera gear and I really like Nikon, but I didn't think that they were going to make a move. And when you look at Nikon and Canon, I know they're not going to just sit back and let Sony like take all of the mirrorless market. You know, I know Canon is going to like look at what they're doing and pay more attention. I don't think they've had to, because Canon and Nikon have been only competing with each other. And as far as Canon and Nikon competing with each other, they're kind of even. But with Sony, so it's like a new dynamic. So it's
having had the chance to use the A9 right now, did you get a chance to use any other mirrorless cameras before that?
The only other mirrorless cameras I've used was the Fuji, like the Fuji X100, which I thought was cool, but it's slow. But I had a fun time shooting with the X100S with the 35. I have a AE1, XA1, which is like the little point and shoot mirrorless Fuji. So to be fair, I've used other mirrorless, but none of those were on the level that the Sony was. They were like consumer grade fun cameras. They weren't like professionally aimed cameras. Like I haven't used the XT2, but it looks like a really cool camera and it looks like it's speedy and stuff. So To be fair, I haven't used anything on the level of Sony, but what Sony's creating, it's pretty awesome. What they've created is kind of a beast.
So I'm sure you've heard already that there's talk about Nikon jumping into the mirrorless market with full frame. Having had used the A9, is that something that you're looking forward to seeing what Nikon does? If they do, is there anything in particular you want to see from that particular from Nikon as far as mirrorless technology goes?
I feel like if Nikon comes out with a full frame mirrorless that's speedy, like it doesn't have to have 20 frames per second. It can have 10 frames or 8, and I'm okay with 8. Like it doesn't have to have like 1,000,000 frames per second. But what I appreciate, the thing I appreciate the most about the Sonys is one, the EVF, which is nothing new, but still, if Nikon or Canon can come out with something like that, that would be dope. And the focusing system in the Sony is amazing. The way it kept track of the face, even the eye autofocus. And it doesn't even have to be eye autofocus. As long as it's like face tracking, that's awesome. One thing I noticed with the Sonys is that when I shoot with my Nikons, I use single point autofocus. So I pick my focus point, I lock it, and I shoot, and I just move around, or I focus and recompose. So if a bride's come down the aisle, if somebody's walking, I just keep focusing and shooting and moving with them. With the Sony, I use continuous, right? And so I just let the camera do its thing, and I trust the camera, and I just, when they move, I would just let it follow them. I would never do that with my Nikon. I would never trust the focus point to follow them, because sometimes it would always go off, or I couldn't tell if it was in focus or not. So I would just move the points with them or move my camera around with them. But with the Sony, it just allowed me to like focus on shooting and let them move while the focusing system did the job, which was fun.
Awesome. Jason, we're going to go ahead and transition to some questions from our viewers, get them involved on the show. Before that, we'll just, again, quick reminder. Again, thank you, everyone that's joining us on the live stream. We got Photomeike in the house. He's our guest this evening. Again, and we really appreciate it. You can go ahead and throw a like on the video and check out Photomeike's YouTube channel. Subscribe to it when you get an opportunity to. Jason, throw us a question out there for Photomeike.
All right, so Andre Lindo asked if Photomeike can talk about his vlogging his wedding. How do you have the time to vlog during the wedding?
It's just one extra thing that I do. Like I take a pretty relaxed approach to weddings. Like I'm just there to do my job. It's not that hard, really. I just have to remember the camera. Like I'm still taking the picture of the bride getting ready. I just have to remember to set the camera down and hit the record button. Now take a picture of the bride getting ready and position the camera at an angle where it's not in a way. And so that's really it. And then the only other thing is like sometimes I'll be like, oh, this is a cool time to have the camera right here. It's kind of like multitasking. It's like knowing that I need to capture the day, but also knowing that I have a camera here that I want to be recording me. But so I don't ever lose focus on me doing my job. I'll never put the camera or the vlog before my job. But in their time, if there are times where like I don't need to be as on per se, then I'll grab the camera. Like, oh, let me grab the camera because this is simple. It's not as a lot of my weddings aren't as fast paced and rush as they would be. Like I have an Ethiopian wedding coming up. That'll be a challenge for me to vlog because there's always so much stuff going on. And if I blink for a second, I might miss a moment. A lot of my other weddings, you can see I walked in the door and everybody's like, hey, what's up? And it's just like I have a camera in my hand and I'm just, showing it. I'm like, oh, let me put the camera down in the corner so it's out of the way and then hit record. Okay, let's get ready. And then during the ceremony, oh, let me just put the camera back here, hit record, and then we do my job. And I try to look for moments where I think would be cool for YouTube to see. So as I'm shooting, I'm like, oh, I'm going to shoot from this angle. Oh, this will be cool to capture. Let me get my camera. And that's part of the reason I got that Sony Action Cam because I didn't want to have to be Casey Neistatting a wedding with this big camera in my other hand, like all of this. So I was like, oh, I'll get something small. What I really wanted at first was like something like the RX 100 Mark IV or Mark V, like something small. I could just flip it out. And then I discovered the FDR 3000. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. It's great image quality. It's great sound. So I'll use that. But honestly, I still want either a RX100 Mark IV or a A6500. I actually do want an A6500 for video on my YouTube videos, and it's small enough to where like I could have it next to me or put it somewhere, and it won't get in the way. Let me grab my other camera that I've been using. Hold up a second.
All right.
All right. Well, Danny, it's just me and you again.
I know, it's just me and you. Oh, he's back. We're good.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I was using this. This is my Fuji X-A2, my other mirrorless. It has a flip-up screen, so when I hold it this way, I can see everything that I'm shooting if I need to, but I don't need to. But it's a regular 16 to 35 lens, but this is like small enough to where I can hold it and it doesn't get in the way. It doesn't tire me. But when it comes to vlogging weddings, I want something small and compact that I can get the shot. I don't need anything big, and so.
Would you ever consider having somebody shadow you to film you? I feel like someone would be interested in maybe helping out with that kind of thing.
I would, but then that's one extra person. See, the only time I would do that is if I was doing like a feature, like if I'm doing a promotion for myself. That's one thing. Like when I see other people's videos and they have people like shouting them, it's just it seems more structured. And I kind of want mine to be more like from my point of view. This is how I approach it. This is from my angle. The only time that I would want somebody like film me is when when I can't have the camera next to me. I need to focus on shooting. Then it'd be cool to have somebody record me instead of me putting the camera stationary in the corner and have it move around. But otherwise, I just like the ruggedness and the rawness of me holding the camera and me talking to people. It'd be like, oh, give me the camera. Okay, here, now record me. Like it'd be too much of that if I did it that way. But
okay,
I'm open to it.
So
all right, Jason Bong.
So Eric Rossi was like, yeah, I was going to attempt to shoot a vlog for the wedding this year, but nah, LOL, kudos to you, man. And I gotta agree with Eric, man, because like I tried vlogging for like several weddings and I'm just like, at the start of the day, everything seems calm, and then I'm trying to talk about it, everything seems good, and then when things aren't going as well, you're like panicking, you're trying to make sure you get all the shots for the wedding, and then you forget to vlog. So that's essentially what happens to me a lot of times. That like I, halfway through the day, it's like when things are behind schedule or we just need to like quickly like pull up a camera or something, it's just hard for me to keep up vlogging. So that's
I've seen your Instagram stories when you're trying to do some BTS there.
Oh,
Jason.
yeah, when I try, yeah, definitely.
So funny thing,
because it's
like,
easy
I
with their
started my
phone.
YouTube channel last year, and I was like, when I used to shoot weddings, I would like Snapchat like almost the entire day, and I was like, man, my Snapchat stories are kind of real funny because I would just troll people and make jokes on Snapchat and stuff. And like one day I was going to a wedding and I was like, what if I just recorded me shooting the wedding instead of Snap? Because I damn near do that with my Snapchat, the way I snap the wedding. And I was like, what if I did it with the real camera and put it on YouTube? And that's how I thought of that. I'm a big Casey Neistat fan and the whole vlog. And I was like, this will be a way for me to make content for YouTube as well as me like just documenting my day. And so that's kind of how that whole thing came about. And I was like, what camera could I use? And so I started using that Fuji and I took it with me to my very first wedding. And then like once I did that, I was hooked. I was like, this was so cool. It was so fun to record and do all that stuff. And so the next wedding I took it. And then there's only been 2 weddings that I haven't vlogged. And one was in November and it was really low lighting. And so I couldn't, it was crappy lighting, so I had a hard time recording. And again, it was a tough situation for me. So I was like, forget the camera. I need to focus on, getting my job done. So that was the only one wedding I didn't vlog. Like I started to and it never finished. The other one, the couple was like, no, we don't want you to vlog our wedding. And I was like,
oh shit.
I was like devastated, dude.
I'm like, everyone's got their phones out and everything, right?
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. The couple, the bride, she's kind of like has some clout somewhat in New York. And so she she wanted to be a little more low key because she felt like she was a bit more important. So she wanted to, kind of keep it a little more private. That's why it'd be like a celebrity. Like if I got a celebrity wedding, I probably wouldn't be able to vlog it type of thing.
Michael Pierce, $20. Respect, you guys. Thanks for all your hard work.
Michael make it rain. Michael's funny, right? He's like the candy man. Like any kind of funny video, he shows up in the comments. I'm like, where's Michael at? Oh, there he is. I saw some video that had like 10 subscribers and 300 views. I saw Michael's comment. I was like, dang, Michael, you everywhere, dude.
Michael's everywhere, man.
Hey, speaking of Mike, where's Steve? Steve's also around too, right? No, he's not here. Oh wow.
I know he's got like a new office kind of getting set up. I think in his studio.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, since we're on that topic on YouTube, what is your future goals with your channel? Like, what do you want to accomplish in the future with your channel, and how do you want to coincide maybe with your business and you? What do you want to do with it?
So interesting enough, like I've been on YouTube. So I remember I told you I have an actual business, and there's an actual channel for that business. It's Ike and Tosh. If you Google or if you YouTube Ike, IKEANDTASH, I'll put it here.
Yeah, go for it.
Tosh. There's a YouTube channel that I created for a business, but I only did that for like search. Like I would put slideshows and videos up there for people who were curious about my business, because I've been into video a long time ago. Side swear, I'm going off on a riff. So I remember, I don't know if you guys know about f-stop. I remember when f-stoppers first started, when Lee and the other guy, I forget the other guy's name, but Lee and what's his name first started f-stoppers way back when, like 2000. This was 2010, and they did a contest for like making a behind the scenes video, and so I tried to enter that contest, and that got me kick it off on video. That's how we started our YouTube channel for the business. And so fast forward 7 years, I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've learned a lot of tips and tricks from YouTube. I can sit down and I can watch somebody explain something, and then I can figure it out and go do it. Like that's how I can learn. A lot of people can't do that. My wife, she can't watch a video. You have to show her. So it got to a point for me where I was like, I've been on YouTube for a while. I remember when Kai first got on Digital Rev, like way back. This is DTS. Like I'm old school. Yeah. Like Fro and Kazilo, Don Bauer photo, Snap Chick from a guy. I'm old school YouTube photography.
Yeah.
But what I realized is like, I was like, there's nobody on YouTube that has like swag. There's nobody that's fun and funny. Like
damn.
Kai was like the closest. Kai was like the closest thing that you can get to somebody that was fun and funny. Yeah, Eric. He said Greg Mitchell. I'm old school. Kai to me was the closest thing I found to somebody that was fun to watch on YouTube, because I feel like there's a place for like somebody who can go over stats and camera gear. Like there's a part of me that appreciates that. I love talking about specs and gear, and there's a part of me that likes watching people shoot and be creative. And so I was trying to figure out a way to combine both into like a fun, like funny atmosphere. So I don't try to be safe or proper. Yeah. I try to be like how I am in real life, like how I am on YouTube and how I kind of talk and make inappropriate jokes or do stupid stuff. It's how I am in real life, and I want to bring that to YouTube. Also, I didn't see very many black people on YouTube, and I was like, "Where's the black guys out there with YouTube channels?" So let's just put that out there, right? I was like, well, Kai and Locke got the Asian market on lock, and then there's plenty of white people with YouTube. I was like, there's no black guys, and I was like, well, then I guess there's an angle for me to come at this whole thing.
Yeah. No, bro. I mean, I'm serious. Like
showing cleavage. Yeah, she does.
There are times I'll just like LOL on your video, dude. I'll just like laugh my ass off sometimes. I'm just like, why did you throw that in there?
Well, so here's the thing, right? So if you YouTube, I have a whole nother account, right? That's my personal account, and I have all kinds of subscriptions. I'm into YouTube fit. Like I follow like fitness channels, bro science. What is the guys? Jim Jones, Chris Jones, Pump Chase and stuff like that. And so if you watch bro science, like this guy's, if you're into fitness, there's like the proper fitness, how to do a pull-up, how to do a curl. This guy, like Dom Mazzetti, he's just like the prankster of like fitness channel. He just trolls everything. He's so funny. And I was like, yo, YouTube needs somebody like that for photography. That's just fun, funny, not proper, that can just say whatever they want, but is also good. Like that's good at taking pictures. Yeah. And so I felt like I was at this point, I felt like I'm good enough to where I know enough 7 years later to teach somebody and to have a personality, you know.
No, I think that's
black
kind of
guys,
the for people that are trying to get into the YouTube space, especially in this area, they've got to stand out, and having that extra personality and swagger on there is such a big benefit.
Yeah, like so sorry to interrupt. Like, so when you think about people like Fro Knows Photo or the Tony and Chelsea Northrup or Matt Granger, like these big people, they have like that whole thing on lock. Like if you want to know proper settings or statistics or something, you can't beat them. Like they're the Northrups, their setup is like amazing. Like, it looks like you're watching a TV show. I can't beat them, but I know I'm funnier than those guys. I can make a joke because I'm like, oh, these two are talking about cameras, and that's cool. But like, is somebody gonna do something funny? No, okay, alrighty. But if I want to know about like the specs on the camera, okay, tell me about the new camera that's coming out. Like there's a market for both. Like there's a place for people who can talk about stats, and there's a place for people who can be fun, and then there's a place for people who can shoot and create. And I'm trying to encompass all of that in one while still being black and ghetto and ratchet and all that stuff. I'm just being real. Like I'm not trying to be paid for. This is what it is.
I'm the Brown dropping at $10. Once again, you guys made my day. Thank you so much.
Right? Can we make it rain some more though? Because I need them guys to invite me back. Like if you guys put more money down, then
make it rain. I'd say about $5,000, and we'll bring Photomeike back. All right.
Yeah.
So Jason I remember Jason's show. Jason got that $100 in Hong Kong. We thought it was like legit.
Right? Yeah, I was there.
I thought somebody had dropped like legit $100. It was 100 in Hong Kong.
To finish answering your question though, Danny. So like also another thing that hit me to YouTube was I realized how much money people were making. And I remember I saw this video. This guy like, I made 30,000. I'm like, 30,000? Well, shit. Let me get on YouTube and start. I was like, that's not gonna pay any bills. Like photography pays the bills, and I like being able to be a photographer and pay my bills doing photography. So it's kind of redundant for me to make a YouTube to try to make a living on YouTube talking about photography when I do photography, you know, for a living. I could go either way with that. So that wasn't necessarily my goal. But if I can like purchase a car or pay for a vacation on the side, like, oh, I got a check from YouTube for 10,000, you know, for the year. Let's go somewhere, or let's buy more gear. So it's kind of like I want the channel to support itself first and foremost. I want to be able to like purchase gear to talk about and play with. And then second of all, I just want to make as much videos, and I want to make content that I'm not seeing. One thing I noticed a long time ago, when I was looking for TVs, I was trying to look between a Samsung and a Sony, and there's this forum called, I think, Howard Forums, and there are people that buy TVs. They'll buy like a LED, OLED, and a Samsung, and they'll purchase them, and they'll put them, and they'll test them out, and they'll post their test results to forums. And I'm like, that's crazy that you got enough money to spend $10,000 just to try it out. Let's see which one works and let us know. And I'm like, I appreciate people like that can get like expensive equipment that I'm looking to use and tell me which one is better. And so I wanted to try to like create that, because there's still a lot of videos and a lot of topics that I haven't seen that could be addressed on YouTube. I have so many ideas and so many ways to troll people. Like I'll tell you, like I was gonna do like a troll video on you, Jason. Not you, yeah, Jason. So I was gonna be like, so guys, it's me, Jason Bong, here with a new Sony camera. I was gonna do all kinds of stuff, and I was gonna like troll you guys.
I didn't know I sound like a. I don't even know what that sounds like.
This is
the new camera.
This is Danny. This is Danny.
I sound like that.
I'm gonna do Danny. Hi guys, it's your guy, that one camera guy, back with another video. And so here we have the iPhone, right? And so let me tell you, now I watch, I can impersonate.
I love it, dude.
Wait, where's my fro at?
Andrew Mullins, $25. Thank you for sharing,
Oh,
guys. Keep
shoot.
it up and see you
Andrew.
next time. Andrew, you
Thanks,
are
man.
fantastic. Thank you so much, man.
So I was gonna be.
Oh my God, you got the fro.
So I was gonna be Photomeike. Now instead of like Photomeike, I was gonna be Frotomi, like Fro knows photo. And I was gonna wear a shirt that says "I shoot medium JPEG" and wear tight shirts.
Oh wow.
I have so many things that like I could do and I want to do that like is not being done. Like I'm like, what if is everybody proper? Like nobody likes to talk about or acknowledge other stuff. So anyways.
Nah, bro, I really think you should go for it, man. When you got it all kind of squared away, I imagine that video about making a parody of Fro. That thing would just get featured on some sites.
I was gonna do Jason Lanier. I was gonna put the camera like way up here and be at the bottom, like how he does in his videos. He's like, you guys, if you don't get your stuff together, you're gonna go out of business, okay? And Sony's gonna take over. And I'm like, oh, geez, it's so much. And you know, the funny thing is that like I'm not afraid of any backlash or like, because it's just YouTube. One and two, like my job is to take, like I do my job. Like I don't know if you guys don't know, but like in the photography industry, like my wife and I are well known. It seems to be like a parallel, right? I don't know if you guys are at WPPI, but I was at WPPI and I ran into Francisco and Manny Ortiz.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, these guys are here. That's so cool. Like I know them for YouTube, but as big as they are on YouTube, like not too many people that were there at WPPI knew who they were. And that in that industry, the big names are like Jose Villa, Jasmine Star, what's the guy who did Shutterfest? I forget his name. I can't think of his name, but there are like a lot of photographers who are in the photography industry who have names, and then there's a YouTube section that has names. And one thing I pointed out about Sony is Sony did that press event, and they invited like all of the YouTube stars to come to their press. I was like, dang, everybody's here? Like I missed it. Did I miss an invite or something? Did I miss an email announcement? Like everybody was at the Sony event, but everybody was YouTube photographers. I didn't see anybody from the photography industry, but it was smart because they got people who had a lot of influence to talk about their system to get people excited. Because for like a whole week or two, all you heard was Sony A9, Sony A9, Sony A9. And like, that's what got me wanting to shoot with the camera, because they touted it as like the best camera since sliced bread. And I was like, well, damn, if it's that good, let me actually see what it's about. And it worked. You know, they got everybody talking about it. But I was like, that was smart of them to get high level influencers, you know, to come to the event and do a press event. Like most press events get the media, they got YouTube. Like, so. Sal Sankata, yeah, somebody said, yeah, Sal Sankata. Like nobody on YouTube would know who Sal Sankata is. Like if he started a channel, he wouldn't have very many subscribers. But in the photography industry, he pulls in $1 million plus a year. Like, so there's two different worlds, and I'm trying to be like in between both of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's some really good insight there. Jason, are we going to jump to another question here from some of our viewers?
Sure thing. Let's see. Got a lot of questions, but I think we answered a lot of them just from earlier. But I don't know. Ike, did you answer what inspires you the most in life?
What inspires me the most in life? That's
coming from Nathan.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to give no cheesy answer like my daughter or my wife and my daughter, but I'll tell you what inspires me to do so on Instagram, I follow a lot of photographers who make really cool photos. And so what that does is keep me sharp. Like when I'm seeing other amazing work, in the back of my head, not to copy anybody's photos or anybody's style, but when I go out to do shoots, if I can have a small image that's stained in my brain of of a shot that I saw, then I can try to recreate that shot in my own way. And that's another thing that YouTube helped. Like, because I make money doing photography, before YouTube, it was hard for me to want to pick up the camera unless there was unless there was a job behind it. Like, oh, how much are we getting paid for this job? Or we're not, well, then I don't care. Like, I don't want to do it. Now, because I need to create content, it's giving me an excuse to do more photo shoots and create more. So I do appreciate that whole aspect of trying to maintain a YouTube channels, because it gives me an excuse to do photo shoots just for fun. Otherwise, before YouTube, I would just do stuff just to post on Instagram. Like, I'm not a big Flickr person. I'm not on 500 pics. Like, I see those images and those are cool, but most of those people work a job. They don't, like, when you do photography full time, like, you don't want to pick up the camera unless, you know, you're making money, or else it's like, I need to be doing other work, or I need to be relaxing.
Yeah, that's very interesting what you said about picking up gigs now just for fun instead of money. You know, I feel like I find myself doing that as well. Like, you know, you sort of doing YouTube now just sort of makes you think, like, rethink the gigs that are coming in. Like, well, this would be a good for YouTube, or this would just be good for money. Yeah. And then, like, you sort of like try to spin it like, okay, well, this gig's not going to pay much, but how can I make it worth my while? You know, how am I going to shoot this more creatively? Exactly. How is this going to benefit the YouTuber, my YouTube viewers out there? So definitely, I can definitely relate what you're saying. So
yeah. So
all right, there's a question there I want to just throw out is Casper 711024 asks, did your Sony A9 overheat during your wedding job?
That was the next question was queued up.
I put it in the oven at 350 at 10. Just I was like, man, I'm gonna get some views off this bad boy. Look, let me tell you, I'm telling you, all these are things that go in my head. Like, I was like, oh, what if I started the video off taking the camera out of the oven with mitt gloves on and shooting with oven gloves on today? I had so many jokes, but I didn't do that stuff. But it didn't overheat. I didn't have any issues. Like, that one wedding was like 91. It was a hot day, and I was like, please do not do this to me. But at the same time, I was like, oh, if it does it, that'll be really cool. Part of me was like, I could use the publicity. And the other part was like, I wanted to actually work. So I didn't have any issues. It worked fine. Granted, like, I don't know if I used it as hard as I could have, but I didn't have any issues. What's up, Manny?
Oh, Manny's in the house.
Manny, I got a spoof for you. Look, I have a spoof for Manny too. I was gonna put like this book bag on. You know how Manny always shoots with his book bag. So I was gonna be like, so hey guys, I'm here with the Sony A9, and we're gonna do some pictures of Diane. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to put the camera up. I don't know what it is. I watch people and I'm like, I start picking up like their mannerisms, and I'm like, okay, cool. I could see how. And he's like, so I'm gonna use eye autofocus. I'm gonna catch him. I'm using high speed sync. I got my 600. I'm like, okay, cool. And I was gonna put on a backpack. I had a whole skit planned out, and I didn't do any of it. It's just too much work. I'm just like, I'll let that go. I'll let that go in the wind.
Oh.
I was gonna wear like some. My pants are typically tighter. I was gonna wear some bigger, baggier jeans. Walk around with a book bag on my back.
Parody, man. Biggest form of flattery right there, man.
Right? Yes. That's how you know I watch your stuff hard. Because when I know your style, like. Shit, I can't get this thing off now. I'm losing my pay. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm just letting you know right now, you need to subscribe to Photomeike and check his channel when those videos drop. He's got to make one of those soon. So make sure you check his channel.
I gotta get another Sony or something. I just was, but the Photomeike, the Jason Lanier, the Manny Ortiz, and Jason Vong. Those are the three main ones. And then I couldn't think of anybody else that was. I couldn't, you know. Oh, and I was probably gonna spoof like what's the Russian chick? I call her Russian, but she's not Russian. She's like from
like
Canada.
The bigger channel, the one with like 100,000 subs or something like that.
Yeah. She always
like
does
Irene.
Yeah. So we do phony photo shoot, and she's always adjusting her hair and looking at the camera. And I'm like, oh gosh. But I like her. I like what's the other one? I can't think of her name now. Crap. Her best friend.
Jessica.
I watch almost everybody. If anybody's doing something decent, I'm watching everybody's stuff. And I'm like, how can I be different from them? Or how can I put a spin on what they've done? So oh yeah, Manny Ortiz bit. Yep. That too. I was gonna like cover all my like and put some makeup here and just do this because Manny just has like his lips showing and the rest of it is just all dark. But I saw Manny at WPPI. Like I took a picture with him and everything. Like he's good people. It's like I don't know if he knew who I was. I knew who he was. I'm the guy. I know everybody. I'm like, oh, there's Manny. Oh, there's Francisco. Oh, there's Keedron. Like I knew everybody, but nobody knew me for no reason. There's no reason to know who I am. Do the Northups, but it's a lot to do the Northups. They're too much. Like it's too hard. They're on another level. Like, I don't have enough money to do the Northups. They just a big TV they have. I'm like, that's a lot to be, you know. They're too hard. Oh, okay. Michael works at home. Nice.
All right, Danny, do you want to do any sort of open Q&A? Because it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, man, for sure. I feel like some of the questions that were asked were kind of answered a little bit here and there. Right. But if you have any new questions, just drop a QA down in the chat, and we'll see if we'll pick them up and ask.
Somebody asked how me and my wife met. Dave Sincere. Me and my wife, we met on MySpace actually back in 2005 on MySpace. I'm from Virginia. Like I live in Washington State, but I'm originally from Virginia. Me and my wife, we met online on MySpace, and long story short, I flew out here to be with her. We got married, and I've been out here since 2007.
Damn, look at that.
The MySpace days, man.
Yeah. I'm 30. I just turned 34, so I'm older. I'm not old, but I'm older. Yeah, MySpace. This is back when you had to have a college account to be on Facebook. Like,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Open it up to everybody.
He said, "What the Michael?"
Let's see. Jim P says, "I shot 4K video of the World War II B-17 bomber engine startup yesterday. 2 questions. I pick up wind in native mic. What do you recommend for future wind situations?" You can get yourself a. I have something. Either get yourself a mic with a windscreen / dead cat, something like a mic like this with a little dead cat right here. That usually helps with the wind. But for internal mics, you probably need something the wind jammer, the Rycott wind jammer. I don't know if you guys can see that right there.
Yeah, we can see it.
And like stick that on the microphone of your camera. So I would actually highly recommend if you can get like a shotgun mic with a dead cat.
All right, Photomeike.
Andre Lindo. What's that?
Oh, what? He's kind of answering in the chat, but what did you do prior to going into photography?
Yeah, I answered it. I used to work retention. I worked for Comcast and I worked in retention. So I think so if you look at my videos, especially my live streams, like I just kind of talk to people any kind of way, and I can be kind of witty. And I think part of that is my personality, and another part of that, and a part of that helps with the business, me running a business now, is customer service. Like Comcast is like one of the #1 hated companies in the US, right? Of course. Yeah. And so I was the guy, when you called to cancel your cable, I was the guy that talked you out of it. Like, you're like, oh, I'm canceling this crap. You guys rip off. I'm like, wait. You really don't want to cancel. You want a discount, right? And it was like, yeah, I do. I'm like, so let me give you this $30 off for 6 months. Go ahead and keep this cable TV, and then we'll revisit this conversation in 6 months. And the inside thing, what you guys may or may not know, with retention, when I worked there, I stopped working in 2012, so it's been a while. But there was an incentive to keep customers. So when you called to cancel, Comcast was like, don't let them cancel. Do what you can to keep them as a customer. So when you notice it, like if you go to cancel something and some kind of special or discount pops up, that's called retention. They're trying to keep you as a customer because it's cheaper to keep a client than it is to get a new person. They have to spend marketing and man hours to get new people, but if they can keep, it's cheaper to keep her, basically, long story short. So our job was to keep customers. Yeah. So they would give us like a layer, like version 1 was like $5 off. Version 2, $10. If that doesn't work, give them $15 off. And it was like, can I give you $5 off? No, I'm still going to cancel. Okay, what about $10? And mind you, it's $60. It's a $60 cable bill. They get you at $30 a month. It jumps from 30 to 60, and they expect somebody to stay if you give them $5 off. And like, sell the value of the service. I'm like, that's BS. Like, we all know that, of course, it's great, but like, if you were paying $30 and then it went to 60, it's going to be hard to see the value in something that you got for half the price for damn near a year. So it was like that whole game of like, oh, what if I give you $20 off? Would that work? Yeah, okay, I'll take that. And every 6 months, you get the people that call back and that whole game. I was good at it though. Like I was number 1 month, and I got like a choice. I was always in the top 10 because like it was like we got like $12 an hour plus commission, and if you were number 1, you got a $3,000 commission. So like making $12 an hour, at least like 50 to 60 hours a week, because overtime was like, you know, always available, plus a $3,000 payout or $2,500 payout. So like I made like close to 60 like in 2008, 2009, like I was making around that. So yeah, the pay was good, but like it was a scam a little bit.
That's actually that's super educational.
Right, yeah. I'm saying people don't realize that.
I learned a lot today.
Like if you like, oh, I'm gonna cancel a service call. The thing about it is like, so I couldn't tell you to cancel. I couldn't make you say, are you going? You have to say, I'm gonna cancel. That was the key word. Like if you called in, let's say Jason, you called in, you're like, oh, my internet bill is too expensive. It just went up to $60. In your head, you might be like, if they don't give me a discount, I'm gonna call whoever else and get new service. I don't know that. I have to hear you say it. So if you call me and say my bill's too expensive, give me a discount, I can't do anything because the calls are being monitored. I just can't give you a discount for no reason. That's no reason. But if you say, well, I'm thinking of canceling. Oh, wait. Let me see what I got here. Oh, so we got this new special that just arrived. And so it's like,
literally,
it's that whole game. You have to, you know, if this helps anybody, you have to call with the intent of, I'm going to cancel. And sometimes they may or may not pull your bluff. You can hang up, and everybody knows the account. Like, I don't know if you know, like people, anytime you call in, it's noted. So if you hang up and you talk to somebody else, it'll pop up, hey, just talked to this person 10 minutes ago. Like we had to jot notes down. So like anybody who gets on the phone with you and acts like it's their first time talking to you, it may be, but there's an account with all your information with notes that says every time you called, who you talked to, all of that stuff. I know it all.
Oh my God. I knew it. I knew they take notes on the calls, man.
Mm-hmm, they do. Yeah.
They do it. Can't hide anything.
All right. I think we're going to be on for about another maybe 5 to 10. Jason or do you see any questions you want to jump on there?
Good luck with that, Arnold.
Jim P, what format or size should I render videos for YouTube? So I like to render in 4K, H.264 in, is it QuickTime or MP4? But yeah, my advice would be to always export in 4K because you get a better bit rate on YouTube. If you upload 1080, it's gonna look like crap. But if you upload in 4K, people don't have to watch in 4K. But even if they watch in 1080, it still looks a lot better than if you were to just upload in 1080. I don't know if that's changed now. But Danny, do you have any new insights?
I mean, you know, it gets a little bit crisper. You just get a little bit more detail out of it. You know, it's everyone's personal preference, but I also do the 4K stuff when I can.
Rich Ramos, should I shoot primarily architect landscapes, get the 16 to 35 G Master, or spend the same cash and get 16 to 35 f4 and 70 to 200 f4?
I mean, if you need the 70 to 200, right? Get the 16 to 35 and the f4 models. Because I think when you're doing architecture, you're not going to be shooting at f2.8. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Architecture,
to me too. Like if you want more stuff in focus, so that makes sense. And you're gonna be on a tripod, so if you have to go to a lower shutter speed, you can get away with like going down and stopping shutter speed, and if you have to be at f4, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
Photomeike, how did you get into shooting?
So long story short, because I get long-winded, my wife started shooting. She started doing photography. I used to be into stocks, so like my original life goal was to be a day trader. Like I was trying to be a Tim Sykes or somebody like that, and day trade my life away. I lost a lot of money. I wasted a lot of A9 money doing that. Back in those days when I was getting those commission checks.
What are you thinking, man?
I could have bought an A7RII and some change. I learned some lessons, but I was trying to learn how to stock market work and to trade stocks and stuff like that. My wife had gotten surgery, and so she picked up the camera. She started shooting. We bought all of those like how to do photography books. She started getting better at it. And I started to go out with her and help her do photo shoots. And then I realized I wanted to take pictures too. So then I got a camera and I would shoot with her. At first, when we first started, it was hard because it was like a two-headed dragon. She wanted to get a shot and I wanted to get a shot. And then after a while, I just kind of learned to step back and let her do her thing and help her make better pictures and do my own thing. And so in our business, we do weddings, high school seniors, and families. Anybody that's ever wondering like how I get so many models and girls and stuff, when you run a business that shoots high school seniors, you know a lot of females. So that's why I tend to have a lot of younger female models in my videos because they know people that know people that know people that refer people. And so that's a lot of my following is in that range. And so yeah, my wife started shooting and then I just started to join her and we both started the business together and we just kind of grew. And so when it comes to weddings, I'm the main wedding photographer. When it comes to families and seniors, she's the main person. And then all of the stuff I do is just stuff on the side for fun for YouTube.
Nice.
You know, I don't think I really got the answer to the asked really on this was, would you ever consider transitioning to the Sony A9?
You know what?
As a main camera.
The A9 it's a great camera. I actually love, like I said, my favorite thing was the focusing and the EVF. My only hang up with Sony is a few things. The size, the camera is like really small, like it's super small on my hands, like, and the buttons are all packed tightly. I think a lot of Sony's issues with their cameras would be solved if they just had a slightly bigger camera. And it doesn't have to be D4. Like, the funny thing is, there's like, oh, this is gonna kill the D4 in the 1D Mark II 4 or whatever, but it's like not even half the size of like a D800. I'm like, if you were gonna like put all those features, you could have put all those features in like an A99S or A99R, and that to me would make sense. You can put all of these top of the line features in a camera that's like this small, and then when people go to shoot, when you put an 85-1.4 or a 24-70 G Master on that camera, it's already unbalanced. You know, a grip may help, but still, it's already unbalanced. If you put a flash on that, you can cancel Christmas. You're gonna have to, you know, put a tripod, and you got to become a sports shooter with a tripod because the flash is like really, you know, if you're gonna use a proper flash, it's gonna be a big flash. You're gonna have a big lens, and so that's one thing about the Sonys that you can't escape is the glass. No matter how small you make your cameras, the glass has to be a certain size. And so if the A9 was the size of a D500, I'm like, it would be hard for me to argue against it. I can get over.
So the ergonomics is the big factor, right? That would make it easier for you to consider the transition.
Yeah, and that's one thing about the A9 that I was like, because like, so the A9 is the top of the line, right? The A7R II, a lot of stuff on the A9 that isn't on the A7R II is not even like mind-blowing stuff. Like they put a joystick, right, for manually for your focus.
Yeah.
I'm like, that should have been there since day. Like, why wasn't that's been around for like, you know, my D700 has a joystick on. Like, this is how you change your focusing points. Like, this is 2010 technology. What I appreciate about cameras like this is there's buttons for everything. If I have to change my white balance, there's a button right here. I can switch it and go on the go. Like if I need to change my the quality of the image, like if I'm shooting raw JPEG, if I hold this button down, swipe, it's like there's a button for everything on the camera. And some of this stuff isn't necessary. Like, you know, we could get rid of some of this stuff. But like, for example, the eye autofocusing feature, I couldn't find it. When I shot I was like, how do you do eye autofocus? I did some research. It's buried in the menu system. I'm like, why is that not like a main thing? Like, it's such a revolutionary technology. Why isn't autofocusing like a default thing? You have to like customize it to a custom button. And I customized it to the AEL button. But I'm like, well, how do you do that on, because that button is there on the A9, but it's not on the A7R. The other dial on the other side of A9, like with the CL, the high speed, and like that's basic stuff that's been around since 2010, and they put it on the A9 finally. But I'm like, how have you guys been getting by without that on the A7 and the A7R II? Stuff it's just basic stuff that they added to the camera that hasn't been on the ones before that. To me, it was like, oh, so interesting enough, the A9 now has those features, so it's gotten to a point where like it's respectable. Okay, they got these extra buttons, but it's still just a little too small for me. But I would say that, like, let's say next year, like Nikon doesn't come out or Canon doesn't have a mirrorless thing, or I don't know, if I get to the point where I'm getting old and I want smaller cameras, I could consider shooting with the A9 or something along that lines. That's why when people say, should I get the A9? I'm like, let's see what the A7 III looks like, because they might put a lot of those features in the A7 III. I don't think anybody needs 20 frames per second. Like 10 frames is enough. And the A6500 has what, 12 frames per second?
Yeah, it does 11, but it has a little bit of a lag in between shots, which makes it kind of tricky to shoot.
I feel like a lot of the features that the A6500 has, they kind of put in the A9, but a little bit better. So if they come out with an A7 that's kind of right in the middle between the A9 and the A6500, it'd be like the perfect camera with Sony. A little bit bigger, a little bit better ergonomics. Because it's a small camera. If they just made it slightly bigger, and I put it up against the Fuji, it's the exact same size as the Fuji X Pro X-T2. The difference with Fuji is Fuji's lenses are smaller because it's a crop sensor, so they're able to get away with it being that small because the lenses are small, and Fuji's have way more buttons. So anything that you need to switch is available on the Fuji as a physical button, as opposed to having to go in the menus. But on the flip side, once you get it set up, you don't have to go in the menus as often. You just shoot. Like I don't find myself changing white balance. I stick to auto white balance when I shoot. And once my focus is set, like the custom buttons are cool to have, but I would say the flip side is the stuff that I use for the custom buttons are the things that are already a button on the Nikon. So like C3 was like focus modes on my Nikon. If you hit the button on the side here and flip the back, that changes the focus modes. So it's like they put these custom buttons, but most people are going to use them for stuff that's already default on like Canons and Nikon. So it's a bit of a but I mean, to be fair, like it's a great camera. I just wish it was a little bit like I said, if they put those features in an A99, it's a hard. And that's another thing about Sony. It's like you don't know if they're gonna, upgrade the A alpha mount or if they're gonna go E mount. It's like
they're really not showing.
Like we don't know. Like because if I bought into the A mount and then I saw all of this cool stuff coming out with the E mount, I'd feel some kind of way as an A99 user, as somebody who'd been on the Sony train from the beginning. And all of the lenses that people are crying for on the E mount already exist in the A mount. So I'm like, they already have the big lenses. Why didn't they just make the A mount the premier?
Yeah,
I don't know. So that's my opinion. I don't know if that answered your question, but
no, it did. It definitely did.
Super insightful. How you talking about like all the different.
But I will say that like I'm faithful to Nikon. I want to be loyal to Nikon, so I can stand to hang on a little while longer to see what they come out with, to see if this next D820 is a good camera, because I don't have any issues with Nikon. Like I can I record my weddings. You see me shoot. You see the images at the end. Like I have no issues making images. So granted, the features in Sony make it easier for me to do my job. I don't have a hard time doing my job with what I have now. So it's one of those, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Of course, the grass is always green on the other side. But I just want to see what Nikon does before I jump ship.
Yeah, I think it's just great getting your perspective, being in the industry, shooting, and just coming from a different, having someone from a Nikon perspective come in and talk about it. But no, it's great that you have the quirks, you see the quirks on the camera, and you're pretty fair with your assessment on it. So I think it's really good. Jason, anything coming up on the stream there?
Plenty, but it's 8:20. You guys still want to keep on going?
I live streamed for like 3 hours one time on accident. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, snap.
On accident. On accident.
On accident in 240p, like of all things.
We'll give it a few more minutes. I saw a comment by Michael that stood out a little bit. He said, Jason Bong, you guys should do a big photo fest in LA, like 5,000 people, models everywhere. Do it by the water like Santa Monica or a crazy place like Venice Beach. I'll sponsor it, bro. Make it happen. Dang, do we even have enough drive to pull in 5K people?
No,
to an
not
event?
At all.
We got to be at that like millions. But that sounds pretty damn cool, though.
You know what you guys should do? I don't know. Have you guys been to WPPI?
You went, right? I haven't been there.
I don't know how you didn't see me. Probably blended in with the other. Blended in with the other nobody.
How many subscribers did you have at the time?
Yeah,
was he under 10K?
Yeah,
I was under 5K back then.
Yeah,
I was like at 3,000 subs, man.
So I didn't see.
Oh, you're like, oh, you don't have 10,000 subs? I don't know you.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I went off. I was like, oh, okay.
WPPI is fun. Like people like, so it's interesting because with this YouTube thing, people are starting to like, hey, like one guy around here like was like, I saw you on YouTube, and he noticed me in public, and I was like, whoa, what's up? He's like, don't I know you from YouTube? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah. So what the funny thing with WPPI is I know Manny and Francisco were there. Maybe you guys should consider doing something at W, because a lot of people who are onto photography are going to be there. It's an easy place to hang out because all of the vendors are there. I did a recap. If you go to my channel, I did like a recap on this past WPPI. You can see like the rooms and stuff. Like it's like a great hangout spot. So it's like it's the desert. So it's a cool place to shoot. You can find models there. So like that's the easiest place to find everybody at once. That's going to be your best bet of getting 5,000 people, is going to WPPI. But Danny, I know you're a teacher, so I don't know like how that would work with your school.
I just needed advance. I think I had an event going on that I couldn't get around. Yeah, so it just depends.
Because I think Manny and Francisco and Keedron, they did like a meetup, and they had a bunch of people with them at WPPI. That's the easiest way because a lot of people are going to be there anyway. Like I'm going to be there next year. I spoke at 2 booths. I spoke for Maston Labs, which is like a film company, and I spoke for a print company there. Meanwhile, like we do speaking stuff. Like my whole other side on business is like we're like on platforms, like all that stuff. Like so.
Michael says he can pull in the crowds, man. You see that? Michael
like if you guys did, and it's Vegas, so it's like you can do a party, like you could do some nighttime shooting on the strip, like with some high speed sync. Hey, just think about it.
I'll definitely keep that in mind, Michael. Yeah, you know what? I'll work it out. I'll figure out my schedule. But yeah, I'm gonna make an effort to go to WPPI this year.
Was a promoter at nightclub. Oh, Michael know people.
Michael knows people.
Michael's one of them old retired gangsters. Yeah, I know a guy that knows a guy. That's how he's able to drop $20 every time. He's having relapses of his club days.
Oh man. All right.
Dave said if my wife wanted to move over to Sony, would I trip? You know, it's funny. I tried to get her to like use it and play with it just to see what she thought. Just to try to get her on, you know, like we switch, you know. I don't know. I mean, if she wanted to, I don't know. It's like I said, it's expensive. Sony lenses are expensive too. Like they don't have any like cheap, like budget lenses really like that are native. Like everything's expensive. Like I have the Tamron 35 1.8, which is available. Like and like how Jason does. I don't want to go adapter. I want to go native because if you want the features that you bought the camera for, you got to go native. Well, if you want this lens, you got to go adapter. So it's like two different things that you're working with here.
Jim P says, "I'll be there at WPPI or the event if I'm not in a coffin already after that 70 to 200 G Master purchase."
When you do buy that coffee, buy our Amazon links. Thank you so much.
Good luck trying to get to WPPI off of that move because the vendors are gonna be there, and so like if you pull that move there, if you get to WPPI and see all that stuff for sale, like it's like if you have gear syndrome, like everything and anything that's there is there at WPPI to play with, to purchase, to use. They have people speaking, like anybody that you ever wanted to meet or see is there that's in the industry. Like I said, I ran to Manny and Francisco there, and I was like, oh snap, those guys are here. That's pretty cool. Like, so I told him, I was like, hey, wait, babe, I gotta go see what's up to these guys. These guys are on YouTube. She's like, what? I'll catch up with you. Is it full price? It depends, Dave. Like sometimes they run specials, like WPPI, so they run like 10-15% off. It just depends. Like because B&H is like B&H has a booth there, Adorama has a booth there, and they run specials. Like WPPI special, buy one, get, you know, a memory card or some crap.
Awesome.
But I have a recap video, so if anybody's interested in what it looks like, just what the vibe is like, I did it like a recap where they do like shootouts and people model for, you know, you can just shoot models for fun, just like it's pretty cool. No, Arnold, no, they won't. They won't say yeah.
All right, folks, I think we're going to wrap it up. First of all, again, before we go, again, if you can give a like to the video, we'd really appreciate to get some more visibility. Want to help out our friend here, but Ike and everything. Go ahead and check out his channel. Make sure you subscribe so you can check out that WPPI video and his other Sony A9 videos that he did when he had the actual camera. Some good stuff, good first-person content.
I have a sports A9 video that I did where like I shot with the A9 in like a sports type of shoot, whatever, to try to test the autofocusing and how that would work. And then a friend of mine had the A6500, so I shot with the A9 next to the A6500. I'll be doing a image comparison, like a battle of the 24 megapixels with the 750 in the A9 and how they handle low lights. Because interesting enough, like the videos that got the most views on my channel are my image comparison videos. And they're like the most boringest, dry videos that I ever made. But like they have the most views. People just like to see a comparison. And I get it. And that's why I made it. But it's funny that those videos are like the biggest. So I'm going to do another one with the Sony A9 versus like the D750, a low light test. A review like how they do in different lighting situations. I did another wedding, so I'll be posting another wedding vlog, and then my review on the A9, and then that'll probably be it. Like I have no other reason to rent or use the Sony A9 after what I've just did. So now at this point, I'll be trying to get my hands on some new Nikon gear. I did a video with the Canon 5D Mark IV. I enjoyed that camera too. Like that camera was really fun to shoot with. Like if you're Canon, if you have a 5D Mark IV, like that camera to me is really nice.
Yeah. All right. I think that'll do it. Jason, you got anything you want to say before we close up shop here?
Check out my video autofocus guide that's just released on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Next week, the live show will be on Jason's channel. I may not be available next week. I'll be
Oh
in
man.
I'll be in Malibu for a conference that I'm going to. Ike, you got the last word here. Anything you want to say to the viewers before we take off?
I just say thanks for having me up here. This was very fun. So in the next video, you guys need to get like a female to talk about female stuff. That's the challenge.
All right. We'll see if we can do that.
We'll see.
Jason's
everybody.
like, All right, guys.
Do I know any girls?
Oh,
We were trying to figure out some female YouTubers, you know, but we'll see. Guys, thank you again so much for being with us today. Again, don't forget to check out Photomeike and everything. And once again, thank you for joining the live stream.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.